Hi dears, hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are in a very unusual place. We are in Benidorm town, but not at the beach area. We are in one of the biggest parks in Benidorm, in the city center park, La Higuera. So we're going to be doing our news from today from here because my daughter is right there in the park with my mom, and I decided to film the video right here to have it ready for you as soon as possible. So for the last 24 hours, let's talk slightly about the update because we didn't do that one for quite some time. Sadly, in the last 24 hours, we had 7,091 new cases, which means that it's a few thousands more than it was yesterday, and it kind of indicates that the situation is getting slightly worse. The index as well, yesterday was 100 after the weekend, but today is already 106, so in one day it went up by 6 points, which was not usual for quite a while here in Spain. And also I want to say very important news that I think I've let you know yesterday in a post in our community tab, but the ones who don't regularly check that one, I'm gonna let to know this one to you here. Starting from tomorrow, basically the night from tomorrow to Friday, the things will change quite a lot for the tourists from UK. What they will do is that the restrictions change. Basically, all tourists that will be coming from UK will need, it's going to be a must, to bring either the negative PCR testing done, or the 2 doses, like both doses of a vaccination, and in case of Janssen, the 1 dose of a vaccine. And they need to have a specific QR code to show it on the entrance at the airport. This is a big change because up until now, you know that all tourists from UK didn't have to present anything. They could come freely. They didn't need even any kind of certificate that they are COVID-free, that they are not sick, any testing, nothing at all. You could just travel and that's it. But starting from tomorrow, it's going to change because Spain wants to protect herself also, just because the number of cases is growing, and in UK the new variant, the Delta variant, is also growing. So a lot of countries are kind of trying to step back slightly without making any major changes, but still, and not to relax more the measures because they want to avoid the new wave here in general in Europe. So we'll see what's going to happen. Also, in the list of safe countries, US was finally added. So it means that all tourists from US, like from United States, of course, they will not need anything at all. They don't need any PCR, any quarantine, any vaccination, nothing at all. They can travel the same way as the tourists from UK did for the last like a month or so. So this is basically what's going to be happening. Another thing is what's going to be happening with children. So for example, if you are vaccinated but you have a child that is not, obviously because they don't vaccinate children so far, then what you need to do is, it depends on the age of your child, okay? So if your child is less than 12, then he or she does not need any kind of vaccination, any kind of PCR testing. They assume that if you are vaccinated, is fine. The child can go without any kind of certificate. If, on contrary, the child is more than 12, then of course not the vaccination, but the PCR testing will be necessary to travel. These are 2 major changes for the day of today. And as for now, what we see is that the situation, of course, is changing slightly. We knew this is going to be happening because it's summer. A lot of people have more relations between themselves, like in terms of that they go out, they somewhere go with more groups, a lot more people, talk to each other. Even though it's an open air, but still, if the distance is not kept, then there is a possibility that someone might catch this virus. So yeah, this is what's going to be happening. These are the new restrictions, by the way, from the 1st of July, so it's going to be this Friday. In Spain, the official certificate will start, like this COVID passport, green certificate, how do you want to call it, doesn't matter, it's the same thing. So starting from Friday, it's going to be obligatory to have this one if you're traveling from the country that has some kind of restrictions or the need of the PCR or the vaccination, for example. Then you will need to show the results, not like on the paper. If you have it in the paper, it's fine as well, bring it with you. But the best thing is to show the QR test results, like certificate, once you come here to Spain. So for now, we just need to wait a little bit more. What I want to say is that still masks are still not obligatory on the open air. This remains the same. Our government does not want to basically a few days after they've said they're not obligatory, put them as obligatory thing once again. So we don't know what's going to happen, to be honest. There is a slight possibility that, for example, by the end of July, beginning of August, if they will see that the situation drastically is changing for the worse, basically what they say is that there is a slight possibility that they're going to bring the masks back on the open air, but they don't think it's going to change something because the majority of cases are coming from young people that did not have necessary social distancing, that did not wear masks. So even though the government will put on the law once again to wear the masks on the open air, they're not gonna listen. So it doesn't make any sense to input that law, because all people who take care of themselves and who know what's going on and who understand what's going on, they will take care of themselves, and they are gonna put the mask when they are walking where there's a lot of people, like a huge amount of people, even on the street. People will protect themselves if they feel it's necessary, but with the younger people, it's something that the government cannot just deal with. It's something that they're not gonna listen, they're not gonna change anything. So this is what's happening. Hopefully cases will not grow as much because the vaccination is also going forward. Right now we have approximately 55, slightly less than 60%. Cannot tell you the exact number right now because they are still being refreshed, the numbers. So slightly less than 60% are vaccinated with at least one doses in Spain, and more than 30, like 37, 38% approximately are vaccinated with both doses, which is very good news. But we are, of course, quite a long way of reaching 70% like national immunity by the end of summer, but who knows, maybe that will be happening. So this is the news about the situation in general here in Spain. In Benidorm, it's very stable, but it's true that in our Valencian region, cases are rising up. But as I've said, it's not something you need to be worried about quite a lot, because it's normal. A lot of people come here to the region from south parts of Spain, like from north parts of Spain, from other countries, from European Union. So it's normal that the cases would rise up, and they decrease in the points where people come from. Once they're gonna leave from their holidays, here the situation will get stable again, and the cases will increase, hopefully not, but this is usually how it works. They will increase where these people come from. So yeah, we're just waiting and seeing what's gonna be happening, but the masks so far keep being not obligatory. It's not a must so far. These are the news as for the situation. The next thing what I wanted to say is that basically there is going to be probably a major change here in Spain in terms of works and employment. There's been official statistics elaborated, which shows basically that in approximately 10 years from now, so by 2030, 2031, 52% of all the employments, so of all the works that exist in Spain, will be automatic. So 52%, slightly more than half of them will be automatic, which means that they're not going to be needing as many people as right now to perform at their usual workplace. This is very strange to hear, because I get that this is just official statistics, but like there are doctors, there are teachers. What they're going to do, they're going to put a robot to teach the children? Well, probably not. So I don't really believe that 52% will be substituted by the like robotic works, by software, by programs and stuff, by machines basically. But I do feel that a lot of them will be changed. For example, here there is a big problem with the hotels as well. Normally hotels are attended by people, reception areas attended by people, which means that it's like a first thing that people show you. It's the first thing that you actually see from the person, and it's something that brings you like the idea of what the hotel is all about. So yes, I kind of think that it's necessary to have the person there, but the truth is that a lot of them are being substituted with machines, basically with online check-in, and then you just come and they give you the key and that's it, or they just leave you the key somewhere, you know, like at the reception area. So a lot of jobs might actually disappear, and this is not a good thing for our economy. But as I've said, I don't think it's going to be 52%. They say that in the future, I have it written even here because it's difficult to remember all that. They say that there's going to be 3 jobs basically. First one is the job for like rich, not rich people, but just rich fabrics, rich communities, rich businesses. These are going to be the works that people will make once the productivity will rise and they'll need more help. So people will supervise machines, they will help with everything. The other job, probably like the main one, will be the third job, like the last mile, they call it. I don't know why this horrible name, but this is what it is. So they call it like this just because what they will do. What is he doing there? Strange thing. Yeah, anyway, he's just checking everything. I thought he might say something to me like why I'm filming here, but this is a free area and you can't sit down here, so it should be fine. Got scared for a second. So yeah, let's continue. What they say is that there's going to be a third part, which is like a last mile, which are works who were not possible to make them automatic and to program them so that machines would make all these works. And the other one will be, let me check. The other one will be the like border work. These are new technology areas that don't exist so far, but probably will be created very, very soon. So these will be like IT specialists, new technologies, biorobotics, and things like that. Actually, right now, a lot of people, the ones who are going to study, are choosing these type of studies because they know that the future is with technology. For some of them, sadly, for some of them not. Some of them are glad that this is going to be the future. With the digital like era right now, with the digital times that we have, it's a lot more necessary to have specialists in all this than a lot others. For example, right now, not many people already choose to study like tourism and things like that because there is plenty of specialists and they cannot simply find the job. So people are changing the way that they used to think about the job and just adapting themselves to what they see, because if not, they'll simply not going to be able to find a job in the near future. This is what's happening today in terms of work, in terms of future jobs here in Spain. The next news is a very interesting one, is that banks here in Spain start to decrease. Like every day you can almost see some banks shutting down. This is not like not a joke, it's actually like this. By statistics, every 4 days in our area here in Alicante region, in general in Valencian community, you can see a bank shutting down. Why this is happening? It's not something that's been recently, it's something that's been happening from 2008 when we had the real estate bubble like exploding in all our faces. Well, not in mine, I was in Germany back then, but still in a lot of people's faces that just exploded because people were taking credits. People were taking credits for their house, for like mortgages. People were taking credits to buy a car, just in general for leisure, like for activities and stuff like that. So as a result, banks just collapsed. And this happened approximately in 2008, and since then banks started to shut down slowly. What's happening right now is that it's simply not necessary to have this like huge amount of banks, because what's happening is that the digital era is right now here, and why is he looking at me so much? I'm getting uncomfortable. So basically what's happening is that the digital era is here, and we don't need as many banks because we can do a lot of things online which we could not do before. So people just don't visit the bank as often as they used to. The other thing is that before, banks used to have like 4 or 5 people working for them. One was on the just with the money operations, the other one was on the desk just attending customers and clients. But right now you can actually see one person at the desk and one person with cash operations. And even in some banks, that's the same person, literally. Like until 11 o'clock, that person is on the cash operations, and from 11 till 2, that person in the bank is at the desk, at the table. Which is very strange. There are big queues in the banks, to be honest, in some of them, not in all. But we're kind of getting used to it. We do a lot more of operations online, and only elderly people who don't really know how to use the internet, for them it's going to be very difficult, because they still come to the bank to ask for help, and they need to stay in long queues to be able to get that kind of help. And actually right now, I'm going to let you know the exact numbers. Right now we only have 739 banks all around our region, and this is the lowest number since 1978. Can you imagine? In total, they've closed already 58% of all the banks, different banks here in our area, and approximately 5,400 workplaces were lost, and these people were either relocated or they just needed to search for any other kind of job, because this is what's happening in the banks. Before, we used to say, oh my god, you're so lucky to work at a bank, but right now we actually look at the person and say, oh, poor you to work at the bank, because this is something that's very insecure situation. They might lose the job from one day to another, and we do not wish to work at a bank by now. This is what the situation is. This is basically what's happening here in our lovely Spain, in our Benidorm. We are totally fine. We know that the cases are growing, but to be honest, we are okay with it. We're used to it. It's not the first time and not going to be the last one probably. So we are just trying to maintain the social distancing. We are trying to stay more on the open air where there's not that many people right now, and just enjoy our lives, because as I've said, we could stay at home saying we're not going to go out because there's a virus out there. No, we just have one life, and that's what I'm telling to all of you, that life is only one. You're not going to have the other chance to live it once again. So live it as you want to live it. It's not in terms that you should go out and just not wear a mask and do not good things, but it's just saying that you need to enjoy your life. You need to go out with necessary precautions, but we need to live our lives, because life is passing by, years are passing by, and at the end we will end up losing quite a few years of our lives due to this pandemic, which is not fair. This is why we're going out, we're getting to the parks, we're going somewhere to the beach, to the different areas, to the restaurants. We ask for a takeaway. We enjoy our life because it's not stopping due to the virus. The weather here in Spain is very, very nice. Right now there are some clouds, as you can see there, but they are not really bothering us because it's very nice with them. The sun is not as active, so it's at least possible to stay outside slightly later than 9 a.m. In general, this is going to be happening in all the country. What we have is basically only a few clouds on the north part of Spain. The south and Mediterranean area will have some of them like this, but it's going to be sunny mostly by the beach areas. And this is going to be stable up until a few days from now, and then there might be some slight rain on the north part of Spain, but nothing major. The temperatures are rising up slowly by this Friday and Saturday. Okay, so on Friday we're going to hit 40 degrees in a lot of areas in Spain, as you can see here. And by Saturday we're going to hit 42, 43 degrees here in our Mediterranean area, so you need to be very careful. Drink a lot of water, use sunscreen protection 50 plus, at least 30, at least minimum 30, okay, to protect yourselves. And wear sun hats and something, and don't go out on midday because it's very, very dangerous. In Andalusia, in the south part of Spain, people just have a lot of problems and end up in hospitals due to this high increase in temperature. Today in our area here in Alicante and Benidorm, it's going to be plus 29, slightly less than yesterday due to these clouds. In Barcelona, 26, in Granada, 36, in Malaga and Marbella, 27, Sevilla, 36, Madrid, 33, Murcia, 31, Balearic Islands, 30, Canarian Islands, 24 to 25 degrees, and Valencia will have slightly less than here, 27. These are all the news for today, my dears. I hope you enjoyed watching them, and I hope you enjoyed today's view in the Centrical Park in Benidorm. I wish you a very nice day of today, and I'm going to see you tomorrow with the new special video from our sunny and lovely Benidorm area. Bye, everyone.